So, again, we know right away, like on the whole worksheet or the whole page, I could do this x and x thing for today. So I could go ahead and do that. Now careful on this next one. It's a positive 27 we want to multiply to get. But we want to add to the negative 12. So what do I know about my factors? They have to be what? They have to be negative. Both of them are going to be negative. To multiply to get a positive, but add to get a negative, they both have to be negative. Good news is there's not many factors of 27. So it's negative 1 and negative 27, or negative 3 and negative 9. So the two that then add to give me negative 12, two negatives go more and more negative. So those are our factors. Now this next one, multiply to a negative 28, but add to a negative 3. Again, I know it's x and x. So even if you have no idea about the whole rest of the problem, you can at least write x and x down. I give you something for that, on like a test or something. Multiply to negative 28. This one has a lot of factors, there are quite a few here. Oh, 3 doesn't go in there. Lots of factors in this one. We're looking for the one that gives me a negative 3. Now, in order to get a negative, I need the bigger number to be negative this time. So our negative 7 and positive 4. And you do need to write the plus 4 so we know it's a positive. Because those will add to give me a negative 3. So example 5 is a little bit trickier. Not too bad, but what are we multiplying to get in example 5? Multiply to, so multiply, guys. The negative 20. But what are we adding to get in this one? A 1, yeah, there's like a 1x here that we don't write. That 1 we don't really write, we're adding to get that positive 1. So, we want to multiply to get negative 20, but add to get positive 1. And you don't have to make the list every time. Again, once you find it, you can stop. I'm just making the list to get you in the habit of doing it. So I want to get a positive 1. So when I think about that, that means the bigger number needs to be positive. So it's negative 4 and positive 5. Again, the order you put these in doesn't matter. If you do positive 5 minus negative 4, that's fine as long as the 5 is positive, the 4 is negative. All right, so this next one, any ideas on what we should be multiplying to get and what we should be adding to get? This one's a little bit tricky, or more tricky. What do you think, Justine? Yeah, so there's no middle term here. That x term in the middle is missing. There's no x in this one. So that middle term is missing, so it's actually like a 0x. So we're multiplying to get negative 16, so this is kind of a special case, but adding to get 0. multiplying to negative 16. So this would be x times x. Which one adds to give me 0? The negative and positive 4, they would cancel out. So there we would get our equals 0. That's one of those ones with the middle term, 2 terms cancel out. All right, and let's look at the last couple here. These are those ones, like I call them like our face palm ones, where like they're so obvious that you might have missed it. And that kind of gives them away a little bit here. So we're multiplying to get negative 21, adding to get 20. Don't forget about the obvious, that should be. To get that positive 20, 21 minus 1 is what we want to use. Again, order doesn't matter as long as the 21 is the positive one. And then for whatever reason, a lot of times on these, people get them mixed up in terms of which one I want to multiply to get, which one I want to add to, just because the numbers are so close in size. The multiply is always the term by itself with no variable. The add is always the term with the x. So multiply to get to 3 is 1 and 3, except I wasn't thinking, it should be a negative 1 and a negative 3. Gives me a positive 3. But when I add those, that's a negative 4. Now, few and far between, there might be some problems in here who aren't factorable, but it's pretty rare. So if you get one that's not factorable, assume that that's going to be like the only one. And I can let you guys know, I'll check the homework real quick. But so homework is listed here for you guys. 3 through 19 all, so not odds or evens, you're doing them all.